All right, now we are moving into the last few sections of the muscle and strength pyramid. And I'd really like to keep all of these consolidated to one video as they're quite heavily related to one another. And these topics are exercise selection, rest periods, and tempo. And they are essentially small refinements that help you get more out of the work that you're already doing. First up is exercise selection. Now, not all exercises are created equal, but you don't really need to overthink finding the perfect one. So the best choice for you really just depends on three things. That would be specificity, which means does it target your goal musculature in the way that you need? Skill and safety, which means can you perform it well without risking injury and it just feels good? And then number three would be enjoyment, just because you're far more likely to actually stick with movements that you like doing. And compound lifts are overall going to give you the most bang for your buck, kind of. But these isolation exercises, they still have value for filling in gaps and bringing up weak points, so to speak. So if an exercise causes you pain and it's not just from normal training fatigue, or you can't seem to make progress on it no matter what, you should swap that out for something that hits the same muscles in a way that you can actually load well and recover from. So there's no right or wrong answer if you need to like switch a squat for a leg press or something. And a good rule of thumb that I like to consider when beginning a program for beginners is just have about 50% of your program made up of these compound lifts. Again, those compound lifts are anything that's crossing multiple joints at a time. And then fill the rest with isolation or machine work. So once you pick your main lift, like a squat, for example, stick with it for several weeks, if not months, and then you can track your actual progress over time. And once you've given it enough time, then you can discern whether you really do like or dislike a movement. But sometimes they do just have a learning curve, or you need to make slight adjustments to fit your body. Next up, we are going to talk about rest periods, how long you rest between sets, and it really has more of an impact than most people think. For strength and heavy compound lifts, resting 2 to 5 minutes is going to let you recover well enough to perform on your next set. For more hypertrophy focused training, 1 to 3 minutes is kind of a solid range for most people. For lighter isolation or accessory work, 45 to 90 seconds can be long enough as long as your performance stays high. But the idea here is you're really just going to tailor this to each lift and to each person, right? The real key metric to be focusing here is your performance, specifically your performance. There's no a perfect rest time. And if you cut your rest too short, then you're going to end up lifting less weight or doing fewer reps overall, which reduces the total workload that you're able to actually perform, right? Longer rests aren't necessarily lazy. They're just often the difference between actually progressing or stalling out, especially on those really heavy lifts like a squat or a leg press or a deadlift, something like that. So take your time and take things at your own pace. Just ensure that the quality is always the number one metric that you're working at. Whether you're resting for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, that's totally fine. Finally, we have tempo to kind of talk about, and it isn't quite literally the tempo of the lift as you might think in like musical terms, but it's kind of similar to that, kind of like a metronome. It's about control. You want to lower the weight under control. Usually around 2 seconds or so is safe. Avoid bouncing or jerking at the bottom. And on the way up, you need to lift with intent, even if the bar or the dumbbell is moving really slowly. So if you're able to make every rep look similar to the first one, even when you're close to failure and the pressure's on and all that jazz, that is what good tempo looks like, and it means you're probably training very well. There's no need to slow your reps down just to feel a burn. So if you're doing that, that's not exactly what I mean by controlling the tempo. It usually just means using less weight than you can handle effectively. So again, just focus on performance, increasing your workload, and getting those reps with adequate weight is really going to slow things down over time naturally anyway. So if you're just starting at the gym, you're not really going to have a good gauge of that, right? Of what is too heavy, too light, or just right. But as long as you do continually add these 5 pounds to the bar, then you're bound to find those benchmarks sooner rather than later. So realistically, just think about tempo as controlled down and strong up, and use that same rhythm every single rep so that your sets are consistent, they're poised, and they're under control. And when you put all three of these concepts together, exercise selection, rest periods, and tempo, these last few capstones to our pyramid, then you'll ensure that you're working efficiently and you'll be able to build more effectively on this base of training that we've already discussed with adherence, volume, intensity, and frequency in this muscle and strength pyramid. So these final details are kind of just like polishing the tip of this pyramid, right? They're making sure that every rep and every set is moving you closer to your goal. And now that we've covered all of these major details, the final step is to just fully build out your program and give it a shot for like 6 to 12 weeks. See what is working for you, how sore you get, all that, and then make modifications and improve from there. So if you're recovering on time, you can add more weight, maybe some more sets. But if you're not exactly where you'd like to be by now, please feel free to reach out to us here at Everybody Coaching, and one of our coaches will be happy to help you find exactly what you're looking for or to help you fine-tune your program for you. Whether you're in our 5 Foundations Fitness course or over on YouTube, you're going to be able to see a bigger picture of everything in this course as it walks you through all of this step by step. It has the same approach that we use with over 1,000 of our clients already in person to build strong, sustainable, and healthy lifestyles, good results. If you want more information as well, just shoot me a message at tristan@every-bodycoaching.com. I'll be happy to send you some more information on how to join that private course or even our private training group over inside the course, even if you're not already a member. So until next time, just keep progressing and remember that that small bit of consistency over time is really what is going to move the needle. And scrolling through social media to try to find the quick fix, it just really isn't going to happen. So get out there and start working.